Why do the worst people seem to succeed? It's a question many of us have asked ourselves when we see corrupt politicians, ruthless CEOs, or manipulative influencers rise to the top. Why do the worst people seem to succeed? It feels unfair. Shouldn't kindness, honesty, and hard work be rewarded? Yet time and again, history shows us that those who bend or break the rules often get ahead. To understand this, we need to look at the ideas of Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher who explored power, ambition, and morality in ways that still resonate today. Nietzsche's philosophy isn't easy to digest at first glance. He challenges everything we think we know about morality and success. But if we break it down and use real-world examples, it becomes clear why some of the most ruthless people rise to power and what it says about us as people and as a society. First, we need to answer this question: what drives success? At the core of Nietzsche's philosophy is something he called the will to power. This is not just about wanting money or control, it's deeper than that. The will to power is a fundamental drive within all living things to grow, assert themselves, and shape their environment. For Nietzsche, this force explains why plants stretch towards sunlight, why animals fight for territory, and why humans strive for success. But here's where it gets interesting. Nietzsche believed that this drive isn't inherently good or bad. It's not about morality, it just is. The will to power can lead someone to create beautiful art or groundbreaking inventions. But it can also lead someone to manipulate others or dominate them ruthlessly. It all depends on how this drive is expressed. Think about someone like Steve Jobs. He was undeniably brilliant and visionary. His will to power drove him to revolutionize technology with Apple. But he was also known for being harsh with employees and prioritizing his vision over people's feelings. Was he a good person? A bad person? Or just someone whose will to power was so strong that it overshadowed conventional ideas of kindness? Let's talk about why morality holds some people back. Nietzsche had a controversial take on morality. He believed that traditional moral systems, especially those rooted in religion, were designed to keep strong, ambitious people in check. In his view, values like humility, selflessness, and forgiveness were created by the weak as a way to control the strong. Let's break this down with an example. Imagine you're in a classroom where one student is exceptionally talented but also arrogant and competitive. To level the playing field, the teacher might emphasize teamwork and discourage individualism. This benefits the less talented students but frustrates the standout one. Nietzsche would argue that society does something similar on a larger scale. It creates moral rules that reward conformity and discourage those who want to rise above. This helps explain why some bad people succeed. They reject these moral constraints. They don't let guilt or societal expectations stop them from pursuing what they want. Take someone like Elon Musk. He's admired for his achievements but criticized for his aggressive tactics and disregard for norms. Musk doesn't seem overly concerned with being liked. He's focused on winning. Ruthlessness can be used as a strategy. I am going to break down why ruthlessness often works as a strategy in competitive environments like politics or business. Imagine two people competing for a promotion at work. Person A is hardworking, kind, and always follows the rules. Person B is ambitious but willing to take credit for others' work or spread rumors about Person A. In an ideal world, Person A would get the promotion because they're more virtuous. But in reality, Person B might win because they're playing by different rules that prioritize results over ethics. This dynamic plays out on much larger scales too. Take historical figures like Napoleon Bonaparte or modern ones like Vladimir Putin. Both are known for their cunning strategies and willingness to use force or manipulation to achieve their goals. While their actions may be condemned as immoral, they've undeniably been effective in consolidating power. Nietzsche would argue that these people are simply expressing their will to power. They see opportunities where others see limits, and they act decisively, even if it means breaking rules or hurting others. As we proceed, let's talk about the myth of fairness. Many of us grow up believing in meritocracy, the idea that hard work and talent alone determine success. But life often proves otherwise. Success isn't just about working hard, it's about navigating systems effectively and sometimes exploiting them. Let's look at Bernie Madoff as an example. Madoff ran one of history's largest Ponzi schemes, defrauding investors out of billions of dollars. For years, he was seen as a financial genius because he understood how to manipulate trust and appearances within the investment world. His success wasn't based on merit, but on his ability to exploit weaknesses in the system. This doesn't mean merit doesn't matter at all. It does, but it's rarely enough on its own. Those who rise often combine talent with strategic thinking and sometimes unethical behavior to get ahead. But to think of it, why do we reward bad behavior? This is another truth that is uncomfortable to hear. Society often rewards unethical behavior because it values results over methods. In competitive fields like business or politics, outcomes matter more than how they're achieved. Think about sports. If an athlete uses performance-enhancing drugs but wins gold medals before getting caught, they're still celebrated, at least initially, for their achievements. Similarly, if a CEO cuts corners but delivers record profits for shareholders, they're likely to be praised, even if their actions harm employees or customers. Nietzsche would say this reflects humanity's own will to power. Even when we criticize unethical behavior outwardly, we secretly admire those who assert themselves successfully, because they embody qualities we aspire to: ambition, decisiveness, strength. These are popular case studies of the worst who succeeded. Because to make these ideas even clearer, let's look at some real-world examples. 1. Adolf Hitler. One of history's most infamous figures rose from obscurity to become Germany's dictator by exploiting people's fears and desires for change after World War I. His vision was destructive beyond measure. But his ability to mobilize millions shows how powerful ambition can be when combined with charisma and strategy. 2. Elizabeth Holmes. The founder of Theranos promised revolutionary medical technology but delivered lies instead. She manipulated investors with charm and deception, building a billion-dollar company before her fraud was exposed. 3. Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein used wealth and connections not only to amass influence but also to cover up heinous crimes for years. His success wasn't based on merit, but on his ability to exploit systems designed to protect powerful people. These people succeeded not because they were good or talented in conventional ways, but because they understood how to wield power effectively, even if unethically. Nihilism can be dangerous, because while Nietzsche admired those who embraced their will to power, he also warned against its darker side, nihilism. This happens when people pursue power without purpose, when domination becomes an end rather than a means. For example, dictators like Joseph Stalin didn't just seek power, they used it destructively without regard for human life or progress. This kind of nihilistic pursuit ultimately leads not only to personal ruin, but also societal collapse. Nietzsche believed there was another way. Instead of using our will to power destructively like tyrants or suppressing it like conformists, we should channel it creatively towards self-improvement and innovation. This is what we can learn from this. First, it should challenge us to rethink our assumptions about morality and success. Success isn't always fair. It often rewards ambition over virtue. Morality can hold some people back while enabling others who reject it. Systems that prioritize results over ethics incentivize bad behavior. But Nietzsche doesn't leave us hopeless. He offers a path forward through what he called the Übermensch, Overman. This is someone who rises above conventional morality, not by being ruthless, but by creating their own values rooted in excellence and creativity. Just like an artist who defies societal expectations not out of spite, but because they have something new and meaningful to offer the world, that's the Übermensch in action. So when we ask why bad people succeed, we're really asking something deeper. What do we value as a society? Nietzsche forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about ambition, morality, and power, and in doing so, he holds up a mirror for us all. The challenge isn't just condemning unethical behavior, it's recognizing how our systems reward it, and deciding whether we're willing to change those systems or continue admiring those who succeed within them. Ultimately, Nietzsche reminds us that life is messy, and so is success. It's up to each of us whether we channel our own will to power toward creation or destruction, and whether we reward those who do the same.